Welcome back to the league. That means nothing. 3 on Go Again Gaming. Here we are in the semi-finals. I am your voice of the league, and what a journey we've been on. We are just a couple games away from that all-important final spot, taking on the crown of the winner of nothing. It means nothing. It's not for anything. It's for the love of the game. Today, we have Jay, Sensei Fab, on Vynsett, as if you didn't know, taking on Nico Bonet on Slab Dash. Turtle Dash. Boring, boring, boring Dash. Sorry, Nico. Love you, but come on. I have been on the other side of the table of this deck. But Jay, setting out on his revenge tour in the top 8, took out one of his losses in the Swiss in the last round in the quarterfinals to make it here, looking to take out his other loss from the Swiss and punch his ticket to the finals and get at least one of the heroes from Dusk Till Dawn there, with Prism on the other side of the bracket. Anyway, without further ado, we're going to throw ourselves over to the match and we're going to see what shakes out. Okay, so it looks like we have Nico going first here, taking with pretty standard setup, except obviously the null rune gloves. And Jay definitely bringing Tunic, knowing this is going to be a long one. Nico just dumping a hand of blues into Pistol and Chamber, because if you didn't know, they are in fact not once per turn. So this is one of the first games I think I've called for Nico where they haven't started with an item on turn 1. And here we have Jay taking up Tunic, banishing a rune, making the rune chant, doing the Vynsett thing. Let's see what those other 3 cards in hand are. Are they anything at all, or are we just punching the 1 blood debt ticket? Has Jay started with the Exodia and is a bit... Nope, Jay simply moving to Arsenal. No explosive starts here from either player. Nico not getting any extra items. Jay not getting any Malefics. But here we have the gameplay, I guess you could call it. Pistol for 2. I hope everyone knows I'm only poking fun. Like, it means nothing. It's a game. We're all having a good time. 2 damage dealt. Go again given with Induction Chamber. Pitch, load, pistol, load, chamber. Let's go. We're breaking the combat chain, baby. And then with our 1 resource and pitching a Shelter and a Warmongers, we're going to try an Amnesia the Vynsett. Now, this is very important. You cannot Rune Gate if you do not control Rune Chance. So this is... We have 1 floating. I would be baffled if Nico is running a pummel, but you never know with these Dash players. They're all crackheads. But 6 coming in here for Amnesia. Jay immediately thinking about lining up his blocks. Which of the many 3 blocks? This is the one thing about Vynsett. She blocks phenomenally well. Her armor can sometimes be a little bit hit and miss, but the actual cards in deck is mostly 3 blocks, with the exception of Malefics, which are 2 blocks and those things, but they're busted, so who cares? Anyway, we have what looked like a Deathly Delight and a Funeral Moon gone to the banish, and then we're going to banish a second Deathly Delight, make our rune chant, tick up our Tunic. Let's see what we have here. We have a Tear through the portal. So we're going to give... Oh, we're already double rune gating, baby. Let's go. We're paying a life. Let's go. We're going for this Deathly Delight. 2 arcane and 5. 1 of this arcane is unpreventable. So both players have taken 1 damage, which means, and Nico has elected to just take the rune chance because you've already taken them and you know at the last card, so there's no succumb to temptation or anything. And now we have 5 coming at you. Jay obviously deciding that he's going to get a rebate on that life. And it looks like we have a 3 block and taking 2. Closing the combat chain here. Jay gaining 2 life now for each hero, playing Revel and Runeblood to make 4 rune chants. And then we're going to rune gate out this widespread rune. So we have 4 and 6 coming. Means both players are going to banish the top card of their deck when the combat chain closes. I wonder, is Nico? Yeah, this time we are in fact pitching the rune chance, pitching an E-strike and a trot along. Trot along just being captain's call that blocks 3 for the most part, and then a fate foreseen as well. So full block on everything there, but we both banish the top card. We get a shelter, but Jay unfortunately losing one of the power cards from Rosetta in Malefic Incantation Red. Um, for anyone who doesn't know how good that card is, just check out Viceroy, especially Viceroy in LL. That's kind of busted. But here we have Pistol for 2. I don't know why I'm gesturing 2 at the camera. You guys can't see me on screen. I'm not an on-screen personality here. And then we are giving it go again, using our tunic to load the pistol and firing the pistol. And we're going to block the pistol. Let's see what we have here. Another widespread rune, another tunic, and a rune chant. And an arsenal. We're really in this ebb and flow here for Vynsett, where we take a setup turn and we do something, and then we take a setup turn, which is like really, really good for the hero because Nico, as much as he is happy to not face too much damage, he doesn't really have a lot of ways to convert a 5-card hand, which is, pretty good for Jay. So here we are pitching a sink below to play a sensor. Obviously, sensor going to name widespread rune. Because why the hell not? Anyway, we have a widespread rune. We have a block anyway, and then Nico going to gain 3 life with a sigil, sink to the bottom, draw up. Banishing a Deathly Whale is J, so going to 2 rune chants. And now we're going to Sonata X is 1, so we're not going to have go again here, but I imagine we're getting a Rune Blood incantation to start passive generation. There we are. J-Man, loving all of these extended arts. I think you might like this Vynsett deck or something, But either way, taking 2 for Blood Debt here. We have 3 counters. I know we've talked about this, Jay. Just when you watch this, just remember you promised me some of those dice. I'm gonna need those dice. They're gorgeous. All right, take up tunic. I believe Jay setting up for a pretty strong double or triple turn here. Pitch an Oasis to load a chamber. Load a pistol even. It's kind of a good sign if you're Jay. And here comes the cut through the facade. So if this hits, well, A, it can't be defended by auras, but B, if this hits, that Rune Blood incantation is probably getting blown up. This seems to me like a pretty good purgatory turn. And it is, in fact, the face purgatory. So we are going to face purgatory. Jay going to draw a card, blocking with an attack and a non-attack, and Nico discarding a sensor. probably max value in terms of block for Jay, not because we got a good card, but very few of Nico's attacks are going to meet that sort of wavelength, you know? Anyway, we have a tick up of Rune Chant from our Vynsett banish. Have we forgotten our... Oh, we've forgotten our... Oh, yeah, there we go. We remembered our trigger now. So this is 4 Rune Chants. Because we have a Rune Blood incantation. We're going to play a life for the Beseech the Demagon. So we're going to have 4 Rune Chants. And we're going to at least make 2 on the back end. If we choose one of these... Yeah. So Deathly Whale coming in here. Coming in for 4 Arcane and 9. And since both players will have to take damage this turn because one of these rune chants is unpreventable, Jay is making 2 rune chants after this. And obviously Jay pointing out 2 cards plus Tunic. Good sport. And we are all about good sportsmanship here on Go Again Gaming. No one wants to cheese a win. No one wants to intentionally or otherwise miss a trigger. So there's our first rune chant dealt. Now we have 3 more coming in and 3 being pitched with 9 physical now to follow. So we've got a 3 block. Have we got any reactions? We do. We have a Succumb to Temptation, refunding our action point, played as an instant because arcane damage has been dealt. And then we have a double defense react here with a That All You Got and a Springboard Somersault. With no cards in hand. So Succumb not doing anything in terms of hand attack, but here we go. 2 Arcane and 6. And so 2 Arcane taken. And then 6 taken. Does Jay have any more follow-up here? Looks like he's thinking about the Creeper's line. Are we going to get a 3rd Runegate attack this turn? No, we are simply going to Arsenal. Are we? Closing the combat chain. Hitting it. Jay, this is spectacular, man. 2 red Malefics off the top. Oof. Big oof. Yeah, we're just going to Arsenal Pass. Take our 1 blood debt. Be happy that we have dealt 10-ish damage, and we're just going to shoot the pistol. Let's see. I assume Jay just takes this and is just going to use the hand to its full capacity here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and then using the damage as a way to play this Funeral Moon as an instant, getting a rune chant. Now we're going to go up to 3 rune chants total with our banish for Vynsett plus Rune Blood incantation, banishing a Phantom Banshee. Big one. That is a big attack. Oh, double Malefic in hand. Pretty good. An incoming Deathly Whale, trigger, make 2 rune chants thanks to these Malefic incantations. So we have 3 Arcane and 5 coming in at Nico. Nico pitching 3 for the rune chance here. And here we have 3 blocks. Do we have a reaction as well? Are we going to... No, we're taking the damage, allowing Jay to close the combat chain, generating an additional rune chant. Obviously, we have no... Jay not generating any action points, but going up to 3 rune chants here is pretty good. And here comes another cut through the facade. But now Nico, faced with a bit of a struggle here on what to pick. I imagine it's going to be the red malefic because that has the most amount of rune rune chant generation available. And it is, in fact, the red malefic. Sometimes I feel so good at my job. I say job like I'm getting paid, you know? This is all for the love of the game. This is a melee league that means nothing. I do this for nothing but the love of flesh and blood. Jay banishing a Cull, one of the more powerful cards that I've ever seen come out into this Shadow Runeblade class. I was testing some Living Legend, and that Cull card in Chain is busted. But here we have 5 rune chance. Going to Dirge the Runeblood incantation because it doesn't, in fact, disappear when you take the last counter off. It disappears the next turn, which is cool and good, whatever. And then we have Shadow Puppetry. Are we paying a life? Yes, we are. So we're going to present 8 rune chance and 8 go again. Crazy number here. So we have 8 and 8. Not an insignificant number, Jay. That's kind of gross. At least one of them has to be dealt. And we have a Cull, so when the damage is dealt, we can play Cull as an instant. Which might be ideal to do after... It's hard to say. It's hard to say when the most appropriate time. And it does look like we're doing it in response to the rest of the rune chants. So we're ripping a card out now. Jay banishing a Succumb to Temptation. Now Nico faced with a bit of an awkward one. What am I banishing here? Yeah, it's banishing a... That all you got. So taking another rune chant. Now we have 6 more. Jay holding on to 1 more card in hand. It can't be... It must be some sort of... Like, maybe a Runeblood incantation, something? I don't know. It all depends on how Nico decides to deal with 6 and 8. With the 3 card hand, obviously we have Quick Dodge Flexors and I believe Crown of Providence. I'd be baffled if it was anything less. Obviously, you want to take these rune chants. Nico's thinking about taking these rune chants and then using the blocks for the on hit, and in fact, that is what has happened. So now we're down to 2 rune chants. So we're pitching to the rune chants, floating 1, which gives us access, obviously, to the Oasis Respite in Arsenal. So if we go Sync Oasis, Oasis in hand, gaining a life. both at parity now. Jay still a card in hand. Nico handless. Always what you want to see. Like you want to push the damage down through Nico. Probably there's been some questions about quick dodge flexors here, lest Jay swing the flail. Yeah, and Jay just swinging with the flail anyway. Low. Oh, we missed 1 point of life loss. And Jay simply moving to Arsenal here. I hope Jay doesn't go to 1 this game. That's all I'm going to say. But it doesn't look like it the way things are going. Nico just trying their level best to block out. So we're going to generate our rune chant here. And here we have another Shadow Puppetry. Always a good one. The best source of go again in the deck, probably, because it enables your Vynsett ability and everything. So we're going to attack with this Phantom Wraith. So a 2 and 7, presenting another breakpoint. 1 arcane has to be recorded here. No, wait, no, life wasn't paid. No life loss. Never mind. But it looks like we're going to pitch to the rune chance and blocking 3 with this Command and Conquer, and then following that up with a Sink Below to cover 7. Now we have card in hand, card in arsenal, J with go again, 2 cards in hand and a card in arsenal. Slowly whittling down, but J is slowly killing themselves as well. Alright, closing the combat chain, using the Tunic here. What is Tunic going to have to say about this? We're going to play Revel in Rune Blood, making 4 rune chants. It's pretty good. Then we're going to Eloquent Eulogy, so we're going to go 4 and 4. 4 rune chants taken. We are locking in our Eloquence token. And then 4, yeah, we're going to Oasis the 4. But we get our Eloquence, get our Arsenal. And we've managed to do all of this without having to use Spellbound Creepers, which is pretty good. Nico's just drawing up here. Which is kind of the story of the game for the last couple of turns. Jay is just presenting some pretty efficient, overwhelming damage. This is a guy who really knows what he's doing with Vynsett, which is, for anyone who's tried to play it, a very tricky deck. So it's quite impressive at the level that the man from Zen State Fab, the head of Team Zen State, is, ooh, if the Prism makes it to the final, then it's a Team Third versus Team Zen State final and a Dusk Till Dawn final. That's interesting. Fascinating stuff, really. But here we have the banish of a Deathly Whale to generate our rune chant. Let's see what Jay has to add to this. Obviously, we're going to burn our eloquence with the machinations, and then we're going to go, hey, here's 6 go again and 1 arcane. And this go again has overpower. So 1 and 6 go again overpower, pretty good. Obviously, less good against a deck like Slapdash, which is known to have a defense reaction or 2. Like if you're playing, like this is proper Tree Frog Dash for the OGs out there. So called because it plays Springboard Somersault, and Apparently, tree frogs are the only thing that jump. So, getting a count on rebels, we have two in the graveyard. Nico playing around the potential third Revel in Runeblood. But I feel like Jay is just doing this go again as a little setup. So we're taking the one, locking in a banish with widespread rune. And then 3. Do we have the defense reaction? We do not. We're taking another 3. So this widespread rune, and then the Flail of Agony, the most annoying card in the game because you never feel like blocking it is worth it. Now remember, if you block 2 on a flail, you're actually preventing 2 damage. That's just how it works. It just feels bad. And now we have our rune shot from our flail. And Nico is losing the top card, which is a Fate Foreseen. So we have 3 cards in hand. Jay going to Arsenal, taking 1 from Blood Debt. Going to 20, should be at 19. Don't forget your Blood Debt, guys. There we go. Thank you, Jay. Always got to pay your taxes. Pay your debts. Nico, load pistol, load chamber, pitching hard to final, gaining a life. And in comes the pistol. Not gun. Very famously, as explained to us all, not gun. Going through the yard here, just getting an count. Nico obviously thinking about how much fatigue is an option in the game plan right now, and I'm not really sure it is a viable one when you're at 13. But we're giving the pistol go again. Gonna load the pistol, I assume. Load pistol. And then E-Strike for 7. It's got to be for 7, because this way you get to keep your counter on your pistol. Now, let's see what Jay decides to do here. There's a good chance you could just take 7 here, because Nico has not managed to find or assemble any other pistol items, which is very different to how the rest of his games this league have gone. Jay having a real thinker here, because Vynsett also not known for always being able to convert a full hand. I wonder what his lines are here. I know we're going to get at least one more rune chant to the turn, but are we going to be able to set up another double rune gate turn? Or are we just going to kind of have a... Yeah, okay, we're going to 11. We're going big, not home. Yeah. So banishing a widespread destruction. So we have 2 3 costs, which isn't ideal. Generally speaking, not where you want to be at. You want to be 2 cost into 3, or 3 into 2 if it's a deathly well, blah blah blah. But I'm sure Jay didn't do this like I would, like someone who has a lot of Runeblade experience, but no Vynsett experience. This is a man who knows his deck. Pitching a Sonata Galaxia, playing an Envelope, the old Envelop in Darkness, creating a rune chant, giving your next rune gate action +3, playing a Malefic incantation, and then tearing through the portal, paying for Vynsett. So we are going to be able to double rune gate this turn because we are going to get 2 rune chants off this Deathly Whale and then 1 off the Malefic incantation. So we have 3 and 9 coming in here, making a rune chant for Malefic. One of these rune chants is unpreventable, thus pushing through a second rune chant when the combat chain closes. And then, obviously, as Jay has paid a life, Deathly Wail is going to make a third rune chant. Tear through the portal, giving go again, and envelop, giving this +3. So we have one rune chant dealt. And with the widespread destruction, if Nico isn't holding a defense reaction in Arsenal, that Arsenal is getting blown up. And if it is something that is important, say, like, that has not had a chance to be played, like a pistol item, it may be worth crowning it away. So 2 arcane taken as well. So all the arcane has been taken to the face because we have decided that blocking 9 is probably better than blocking 3 with a card is always better than blocking 2 with a card. Jay obviously showing no hands. So blocking with a Command and Conquer from hand. We have 6 more. Are we going to be taking 6? Because that seems dangerous. Nico really thinking here. So we're going to shelter from the storm. So that is going to mean we're taking 2 total, closing the combat chain, generating our 2 rune chants from our Deathly Delight, and sending in a 3 and 6 here. Obviously, not much point pitching a card for the rune chants, but maybe. So we're covering the 3, blocking 2 with an erase face, not ideal. One of the big downsides of that card's not, in general, very mild applications, if any, into Vynsett. And then we do have a defense reaction. No, we have a sigil, so we're going to gain 3. And then take 4, so net lose 1. And our arsenal is banished. What arsenal? Says Nico, who just ticks up the tunic and shoots the gun. I can't see Jay getting ready to block now. Jay obviously still thinking about this block because you never know. Big things here in the league that means nothing. We're getting close to the end. No player wants to make any misplays that could cost them the game and that coveted final spot. After all, who wouldn't want to be in the finals of the league that means absolutely nothing? Well, obviously me, because I'm here talking about it instead. I imagine Jay is calculating how well he can use his entire hand, if it is worth giving up a card. Are we able to use that? We've just decided, yeah, we'll go to 8. Technically 7, but we'll hold it against it. Banishing a widespread annihilation. That's the blue one. I always forget that one. It's the hand attack one. I think I'm traumatized by Cody Williams from the Runaways in Runegate chaining my face off. But we're going to Deadwood Dirge our Malefic to go up to the 4th rune chant. Popping Vexing Quillhand, going up to 6. Oh, sick! Nazareth being summoned, baby! Let's go! This is so dope. I love this so much. We are making our pact with Nazareth the Soul Harrower in that beautiful marvel coming in. Fun fact: if you see Shamir Sami, he has my marble. I gave it. I sent that one to him. Fellow league participant and fantastic Vynsett player. Now we're going to beseech the Demagon. Are we paying a life? And we're going to come in here for 6, 9. 6 and 9. So no matter what happens here for Jay, he's always going to have the opportunity to swing Nazareth. Might be time for Nico to start thinking about cashing in some of that armor, maybe. Presented with 15 damage when you're at 7, not ideal. Yeah, so we're using our tunic resource and pitching. So that is all of our rune chants taken care of. Now we have 6 block, probably. So we are blocking 7 for a total of 7. No cards to banish, taking 2. And Jay just drawing up. Nico doing the same. Nico with those amazing, beautiful Hokus. I can't remember the art. The Great Wave off Kanagawa. Those fantastic, beautiful World Championship sleeves. Now, Jay only ever needs single rune gate turns to be able to attack twice, as long as he has a source of go again, such as the Spellbound Creepers are able to provide the good old-fashioned Iron Wrath Jordans. And that one is just for Indigo, because I know I've been lacking on the bingo card recently. Let's see what we do here, Mr. J. Mr. Zen State Fab. What are we banishing? Okay, banishing an Eloquent Eulogy. Pretty good. Runegate 1. This card's nuts as well. Like, Runegate 1 is so powerful. I think people don't understand just how strong that is. Now we have 3 cards in hand to play with. Well, Mr. J, what are we doing? Holding us in suspense here. See Nico still having quick dodge flexors, still having crown, and the full hand. But here we go. 1 arcane at 4. Pitching for the arcane. Floating 2. And now we have 4 physical. So we have to be very mindful about our blocks now, because 5 life. This might be some of the lowest life totals I've seen Nico at in a lot of his games. Blocking 3 here total. Taking 1? Question mark. And then, yes, incoming quick dodge flexors. So 4 fully covered. Brilliant piece of equipment from the Hunted. If you haven't got them, well, tough one. They're pretty pricey from what I can see. But, really interesting, really powerful piece of equipment in your defensive decks. Not great in a lot of decks right now, but the ones that can use it extremely well. Something like Enigma. And here we are popping our Grimoire of the Haunt. So we're putting ourselves on the clock as an instant, creating an Eloquence token, pitching a card, surprisingly, instead of using our Spring Tunic. And now we're going to activate creepers, pitching another card. Pitching our Rune Gate cards to put in a Cull. So we're going to rip a card from Nico here, and it is an Amnesia. And now we're going to send in Nazareth, the Soul Harrower. We're not getting any more activations out of this creepers, but we're going to be blocking as much as we can here. So blocking 4, taking 2, going to 3, and closing up our turn. Jay eating a single point of blood debt here. Very surprised we didn't use our tunic at all. Nico simply moving to Arsenal. No more armor blocks now. Any defense has to be done by the hand, but can he survive 7 more turns? Should be 6 more turns, but 7 more turns. Getting a deck count. I don't know if we would even get 7 more turns now at this point before Jay runs out of threats to do anything with. So what are we banishing here? Also, did we deal Arcane? We didn't. So those creepers are dead, I believe. But we're going to go Banish an Eloquence, Eulogy, play a Malefic, make 3 with 3 counters on it. Do we have anything else? We have a Phantom Wraith. Just a simple Phantom Wraith attack, 1 Arcane and 6, making a Rune Chant. Requesting at least 2, if not more, cards from Nico. Yeah, Nico taking the 1 Arcane. Ooh, this is getting interesting. This is getting dicey. And blocking 6. Jay now losing a life, 2 life to Blood Debt. Arsenal. Cards to the bottom. Okay. What does Nico have to say? Do we have anything to say, really? Big things here. Is Nico's plan now just to try and wait it out? Because that is a good way to get yourself caught. Are we going to load the pistol of the chamber? Have we drawn some items that we need to pitch? Maybe we've removed the items from the deck and are just running a full fatigue kind of game plan. Nope, we are going to go pistol chamber. Or just pistol, at least. And then Erase Face. So Erase Face coming in here for 6. Deciding whether to attack Jay or Nazareth. I think with your opponent at 5, you have to just send it at them. But then they can just block 6, but then they can... It's a tough one. It is a tough position to be in, regardless. Not where you want to be. But I still think Nico's in an okay spot here. All Jay needs to do, though, is find a couple of shadow actions to start forcing damage through. But Nico has shown to have life gain. Tough one to figure out. I imagine we're into second cycle now. So imagine we're getting another count here. Yeah, getting a count on shadow actions. It's very specific. But kind of important, These are the ones that could be near dead. I believe we've seen 2 tear through the portals, 3 shadow puppetries, 3 beseeches, and 1 envelope. Oh my god, I am right. Go me. Sometimes when I'm not talking about the league that means nothing, I actually play this game at a reasonable level. Yeah, Nico's decided that Nazareth needs to die. So Nazareth does indeed. She is gone. But leaves Jay with a 4 card hand to work with. So God only knows what that means. Nico probably should have checked for what are they called? Machinations, perhaps? That's a good card. It's a good card to have in a spot like this. We are banishing a widespread destruction, though, and I don't know if there's another way to generate a rune chant. I suppose there's always envelope. There's always envelope. And that looks like what we're going to see here. Yes, indeed, an envelope in darkness. Generating that rune chant, paying 1 life. So we're going to put Nico to 1 and generate a rune chant on the back end. 1 card in hand. If that is a succumb to temptation, I think Jay just wins this game. Because we have 2 and 9 here. So Nico at 1 needs to give up everything to block this. And if Jay has any way of generating an action point, Nico's dead. Of course, with the added exception that Nico could gain 3 life, take 2 rune chants, go up a life in the exchange, and then block 9. Big things here from Nico either way. I'm not surprised there's big things. This is obviously we're coming down to the last turns of the game here. So we're pitching for the rune chance. We have 1 floating now, and now we have 9 physical to deal with. 3, 6, and 10. So, but we are gaining our action point here from this succumb to temptation. So we need a 4 block here. So we have the rune chant. Yeah. So we're going to go up to 4, pay for the rune chant, and take exactly lethal from Vynsett with those rune gate ones. Remember, I told you guys, rune gate 1 is busted. That's just the way it is. Well done, Jay, punching that ticket all the way to the finals of the league. That means absolutely nothing. 3, the biggest league we've ever had. The most games of Flesh and Blood I've ever called. Thankfully, not all at once. Calling them live, different story. Very, very hectic. This has been a banger. Jay needed that pressure of being in the top 8, needed that single elim pressure to really dial in, lock in, and absolutely crush with Vynsett. And Nico, my commiserations, excellent run all the way to top 4. Probably kind of happy because the other side of the bracket looked freaking miserable for slapdash between the illusionists going on over there. So, yeah, 1 more game to go. Who's going to be? Who's going to win? I want to hear your predictions. So, now that I've said that and I've done my, what's it called? Call to action. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed the video. If you like seeing Vynsett absolutely rock house, make sure you let us know down below in the comments. And while you're down there, tell us who you think is going to win the league. That means absolute nothing 3. If you want to see more of that Vynsett, go find Zen Stay Fab on YouTube. I'm sure Jay has plenty to tell you. That being said, now that I've asked you to comment, make sure you subscribe. And we will get that final video, the finals of this gigantic league that means absolutely nothing, organized by Az, all for the love of the game, to your YouTube notifications as soon as we can. And it's going to be before Pro Tour London, so look forward to that. I have been your voice of the league, Ian Holland, and I don't think I have much more to say other than what a game of Flesh and Blood, and I cannot wait for the next one. I can't wait for the finals. It's going to be me and Az side by side, calling the finals, and you're going to love it. See you in the next one, and goodbye.